1-800-449-8255. And it's Clark the Shark Show. And I'm about to review one of the greatest rock albums of all times, Love Forever Changes. This album is, you know, it's amazing. I love this thing, this kaleidoscope 60s art on the cover. Man, I love this album. Now, this is actually the third Arthur Lee and Love album, and the two before this were really good. I particularly like Da Capo, but I like that first album also. But Love Forever Changes, this album would just, man, it would go to an incredible level. It goes above and beyond the call of brilliance. And there's actually a fourth Love album from 1969 called For Sale, but it's not the classic lineup. It's just Arthur Lee and some other guys, but it's still a killer album. I like it. And I like all the other Arthur Lee and Love albums that would come later, but it's hard for me to really say it really is officially Love, because with me it's got to have Brian McLean and all these guys, man, that made these first three albums. Love, Da Capo, and this one, man. And these songs are just they're just marvels for 1967. Well, let's get into this amazing album, shall we? Because it is just, I love this cover, man. Forever Changes, Love. And these songs have the weirdest titles. They're just weird, man. Oh, yeah, baby. It gets 5 stars. Forget the 4.5. This is a 5-star album. It's acoustic. It's, starts off with just one of the greatest acoustic violin, Baroque pop songs. And I love Baroque pop, like the Who Sell Out and David Bowie's 60s and 70s bands that, mix violins and acoustic guitar and drums. You got a wacky, like Keith Moon drummer with an acoustic guitar, like the Who, Tommy, and violins, like the Beatles or something. I love Baroque pop. And Alone Again, or, man, what a song. Amazing. And A House Is Not a Motel. Love it. And More Again. Awesome. The Daily Planet. Oh, man. Every song is good. But my favorite song is Old Man. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, I love Old Man. And The Red Telephone is cool, of course. Side 1's amazing. And all these songs on side 2 are just as good as side 1. You Set the Scene, awesome. Bummer in the Summer. Just the weirdest titles for these acoustic Baroque pop violin. But then there's like rock and roll guitar. There's some killer drumming, and this isn't like as good as the Who, but it's better in ways, because the vision of love forever changes. Arthur Lee, genius. Brian McLean, genius. You know, Old Man is not sang by Arthur Lee. That's a Brian McLean lead vocal there, and it's awesome. And man, Live and Let Live's cool. It's all cool, man. Maybe the people would be the times are between Clark and Hilda. Just the weirdest titles, man. But this whole album is amazing at 1-800-449-8255, The Clark the Shark Show. And I'm talking about an acoustic driven Baroque pop classic of an album from 1967. And this album really didn't sell that well, which is bizarre because Alone Again or is just such an amazing song. And who knows, you know, because Arthur Lee and a couple of guys in the band were black, and, you know, it was a white audience back in the 60s. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I'm sure it might have. But Arthur Lee has a lot of soul, man. His albums after this are interesting, and he does it all in the 70s, man. There's like funk and just this kick-ass rock and roll guitar. These albums he did with other people, and Love for Sale 1969 is amazing. You know, but I always wonder,